Hey everybody, it's Justin, Mr. CMB. I'm back with another video. I have a very special guest. His name is Nate Weil, founder of Infinite Talent, recruiter extraordinaire. Nate, how you doing today?
Doing
How's it
great, man. Doing great. Just so when I do get big, it's Nate Wiley. Everybody mess up the Wiley part. But anyway, I'm doing good, man. Glad to be here. Happy to chat with you.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. So I just kind of want to go about like your background as far as like why you got into tech or just like what's your passion like? Who are you as a person? Like who is Nate and why did he decide to get into tech? And why? Just why? I want to know like your why. I like to know everybody's why.
Now that's a great question. That's a loaded question. Let's say, who am I? No, I mean, I would say I officially transitioned into tech in 2018. I've always been a recruiter as far as my career goes. I was working for a large global manufacturer, and so I'm always on LinkedIn. So that's always been sort of a bonus or a plus to my career. Is like I just have visibility into all these other career fields and industries, and so just seeing all the individuals at tech who just looked like they really enjoyed what they were doing. Like I didn't see a lot of my peers in my industry, whether it's manufacturing or distribution or healthcare, just didn't seem to be having as much fun as
Hmm.
tech recruiters were. And so that's what really piqued my interest and started to kind of made me want to look more into that industry and sort of how I could slide over and get with the tech company so I can experience, or at least see if the grass is greener. And it at that point in time, it was. I still think it is, but now, like with so much advancement in technology, like almost every company you work for, it's has some sort of tech correlation or tech adjacent type of platform or systems that go along with it, and then with all the layoffs and stuff, so it's gotten a little bit more rocky and spooky since 2018, but the industry itself is going to continue to grow and sort of just eat up some of these other industries for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because like there's like all this doom and gloom news that I see about like jobs getting cut and stuff like that, which is, obviously inevitable. It's really just like evolution with AI and just you being, I mean, really, I would consider me personally, I would consider you an expert recruiter just based off your years of being in that particular sector. And I'm pretty sure you get asked this like a million times, like, how does the hiring process work? If they're like from square one, let's say it's somebody from working like a regular retail job, how would they go about getting into tech? And how does that hiring process like work?
Yeah, I think it's at this time or this point in time, rather, like it's very challenging, and I'm very honest with people about that, especially if you don't have a skill set that is particularly like specific or niche to something that a company is looking for. So, for example, like you said, someone in retail, or let's just say a common one is like customer service, right? And they're
Mm,
looking to get into tech. Um, you got to figure out, okay, like what's your entry point? And usually people like I want to get into tech sales, which is smart because it isn't as quote unquote like technical. And so like you could have great soft skills and be able to transition into a tech sales position or at least like a SDR type position. But what I tell individuals, kind of look at where you are, excuse me, sort of where your current value lies and how do you translate those skills to a tech company. I think oftentimes what people forget about is yes, you have those technical roles. You have your engineers, your developers, your data scientists, even, technical product managers and things like that. But all these companies have a finance function, an operations function, a program management function, HR. Like there are all these other departments that are quote unquote non-tech. And so the goal is to get into a tech company. And then when you're in the tech company, you can start to add different skills and qualifications to your resume to make you transition into a more, what I would call like a more like stable team or a more stable department. Because to be quite honest with you, I mean, that's where the value lies, right? It's like with anything else, it's supply and demand. So the the more people that can do your job, then the less stable that job is. Versus if only, a certain percentage of people can actually do this role in the company, then usually like those are the people they're going to look to, lay off or whatever, last in that line of progression through a rift or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Skills pays the bills. That's what my grandfather used to always say.
Oh
Skills
yeah.
pays the bills, and I think just getting skilled up is like the most important thing, and also just like I think it's moving towards like can you show the results too? So I 100% agree with you. Now, one of the things I know just kind of like how I was able to like kind of get my way in. But as a recruiter, I just kind of want to ask you this. What challenges do Black professionals face when they're trying to break into or advance within the tech industry? And also, how is your team addressing those gaps?
Yes, I mean, that's an age-old issue, right? I think it's one of those things where me personally, I can't wake up every day trying to sort of look for the racism that I may run into, right? Like you just have to put a plan together and work your plan. If racism end up being a barrier for you, in some particular opportunity or an interview or something like that, then I mean, it is what it is. Like it likely wasn't going to last long term anyway.
Right.
If you feel like you're being discriminated against in the interview process, imagine what it's like to work there. And like it's one of those things where they
Yeah.
they are waking up every day, trying to make you fail. Like they're making a challenging job 10 times harder because they want to prove that well, we tried to diversify our team and look how terrible that person worked out. And I think sometimes that's the play to kind of give companies or hiring managers more autonomy over or making their hires. Um, but I would advise any black person or person of color is to get get great at something to the point to where like you can't be if they don't like you because you black, then that's it. But it's not going to be because you don't have the qualifications or the skills. And then it's also one of those things where show your results, like bring your receipts, like, and I think that's part of it is even across any race. I think people really underestimate how good some people are at their job. Like, and this is coming from somebody who is literally like behind the curtains of hiring. So it's times where, we'll run an interview process and I could think someone is good. The hiring manager can think someone is good, and then, a stakeholder can be like, well, I like this person. And so like we give them all the same assessment. That's kind of where the rubber meets the road. Like we gave them a coding test, or we gave them, we want you to put a slide deck on what's the strategy going to be to, you know, increase the revenue by 10% based on this criteria. And the
Right.
the people who can take that assignment and put together a comprehensive strategy that sort of lays out, almost a step-by-step tactical execution of how to go about doing this, and then showing the quantitative data of this should result in this based on these numbers, based on what you told me, based on market trends, all that kind of stuff. And so I think, again, like I think people just kind of underestimate. There are a lot of great professionals out there who love this stuff, that research it, that immerse themselves in a particular field. And I think that's what we're starting to see now. And that's why at first, like a year ago, I told people like, you don't have to have podcasts, or you don't have to be all outspoken about what it is you do for a living. But nowadays you kind of do, because the 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 talent pool is overflowing, right? Like it's so many if Google laying off 10,000 people and Microsoft laying off 9,000 people and this startup laying off this many people, like that's a lot of good people in the market now. And so when you meet someone who's saying like, oh, I'm trying to transition into tech for the first time, like the competition's got pretty stiff. Like
Right.
like why hire someone who's never done the job necessarily, and then you have all these people to choose from who are great talent, who are probably now it is a like an employer's market, and so they can hire individuals at a lower rate at which they probably would have in different times because that person's out of work. They want to get health insurance back, like they need to get paychecks back coming in, and so they can kind of leverage that in a way. Because usually what I see a lot of people they get laid off or something and they don't want to take pay cuts, which is understandable. I don't think anybody wants to take a pay cut, and I wouldn't try to lowball someone. But at the same time, you know, it's going to come a point where you need to get back to work. And
Right.
and that's kind of the employers are able to play on that sometimes and find individuals who see, I know they may have made 170 at their last roll. Let's see if they'll take 155. Like just almost
Right.
like doing like a little haggle with them. Like, and so you got to be mindful. You got to be mindful, and it's up to each individual person to understand their worth and also what their lifestyle is, what their expenses look like. Can you really afford to make less money? Like your life may be built on you not being able to make $5,000 less, or else things gonna get a little bit too tight for you. And so you really have to figure out what works best for you. But kind of circle back to the original question though, like being black is it's the same as it's always been, right? Like we know the world we live in and sort of the challenges that we have to overcome, but you just can't let that stop you from trying. I think that's what I don't like to hear. It's like, well, what what are you gonna do? Like if that's your sort of your first thought is, well, I'm black, I know it's harder for blacks. Like, yeah, it's hard. Like no one's saying it's not, but you know. Making $100,000 is hard. Making 200,000, like it's going to continuously be hard for you if you're trying to like better yourself.
Right. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Just pick your poison. I think it's just and I think that can be used as like a mental block too. And I think now, honestly, like we have more opportunity than we ever have in the history of the world. So it's all in how you look at it too. So I definitely agree.
I mean, you
Um,
can what I like about the world we live in now is you have at one point in time I feel like it was hard to be able to show what you can do without actually being in the job or working or something like that. But now as easy as it is to create a website or, create reports and build apps and all that kind of stuff. Like now I'm seeing people come to interviews even for like more entry level roles, showing me things that they've built or something that they're working on their own. Because now technology has been democratized to a point to where like I don't have to work for you know, $100 million revenue company to have access to some of these tools. Like I myself can buy like a personal seat for, $30 a month on something like that and start to build out the same type of quality applications or platforms or whatever that if I work for a larger company. And so I think people need to lean into that more and be able to show people, employers, or whether you want to be a consultant, clients, whatever, like, hey, like I have the skills, like I built this on my own, like this no one told me to do this. Like this is I saw a need for something and I built it for you. Like I have people pitch to me all the time in email saying like, hey, I saw your website. I think you could benefit from, this application I built or something. Like this is how it would look for you. And
mhm.
they've already gone in and I'm sure they didn't spend a ton of time on it, but enough time to where they felt like it would, incentivize me to want to follow up and set up a call or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I always say this device right here is alone is game changing just in the
It's
world.
powerful.
Yeah,
It's powerful.
super powerful. Yeah, super powerful. That's all you really need. So
And
just
look, I
shift.
mean, I'm sorry, on the last thing on that, like if for the person who really thinks like race is a blocker, you can find something and where your race isn't even relevant, right? Like if, because I guarantee you, if you can figure out a way to make money for people, they don't care what color you are. Like that's gonna always speak volumes. So if you can find a way to generate revenue, I promise you, like you'll get the opportunity. They may not like you personally, but they'll definitely employ you if they feel like they can make money with you.
Yep. We all speak that universal language, money.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure.
So just I want to touch on like the technology aspect. So with, how does your company stay agile, competitive in a landscape where technology is evolving so quickly? I mean, even I don't want to date this video, but there was a Chat GPT 5 release today, and I,
Mhm.
I just actually just checked it out. So I kind of want to know like share your insights on that.
Yeah, I mean, my company personally, and to a fault, like so many tools. Like, yeah, I sometimes I feel overwhelmed by all the different platforms and applications and systems and stuff that I have access to and can afford. And honestly, that's been really one of my challenges is really, sticking to one particular system. In my case specifically, I play around with a lot of AI sourcing tools. So now they I mean, hell, it's plentiful. Like I've played around with probably like five or six of them, and that's not even, you know, uh, probably not even 10% of what's out there. So you have all these different AI sourcing tools now that you can sort of type in or maybe you find the ideal candidate that you're looking for a particular role, and you can just literally copy and paste that LinkedIn URL into the platform, and then like it'll dissect it and create like an ideal candidate profile, and then it'll go back to LinkedIn and generate a list of people who have a very similar profile and kind of give it a rating saying like, hey, this person's, a strong match, a good match, a fair match, like that type of deal. And that's at a high level, but when you have that, like that's how I've been able to, operate my business. So lean is, back when I was in house, like we had a whole sourcing team. And so like literally that platform can replace a whole sourcing team. So I mean, that's why you don't see these large recruiting teams like you used to, just because most teams are either really trying to stretch recruiters to do more
Hmm.
or leveraging more of that technology. Because a lot of these tools now just to kind of continue with the example I was just giving. So once I've identified that list of individuals, I can filter the list by, give me all the excellent matches and great matches. Okay, here's 40. Let's just say it's 20 and 20. All right, cool. Now add all these people to a three code outreach sequence. Boom, one click of a button, it's going to scrape the internet to find, relevant email addresses for all these people. Email blast them all. If they don't respond after a day, send them this message. They don't respond after 2 days, send them this message. As they come in, you can click a button to say whoever responds positively, send them my calendar link to set up a time. So now, like, look at all the time I've saved. Like, literally, that was like a sourcer, a recruiter, and a recruiting coordinator, like all packed into that one system. And so and that's just my industry that I know personally. So there's no telling how many other industries are sort of, you know, rapidly evolving at that pace of really looking at like, okay, let's get down to the core of, where is a human needed in this process. One good thing for me about recruiting is usually people still want to talk to a person at some point, right? They do want that
Right.
touch point. But if I'm able to find them, contact them, gauge interest, and schedule a time with them without necessarily being hands-on, that saves up a lot of time for me to actually connect with the strongest candidates. And so now I'm vetting them. I'm sort of getting to know them a little bit more personally so that I can then, sell them in a sense to a hiring manager. But even when I'm talking to them, I have an AI note taker on the call that's literally recording everything they say and then giving me a nice summary at the end of why this person is or isn't a fit. And then I can also use like an AI chat bot to go back in and say like, hey, the hiring manager is asking about this specific experience. give me all the information around this topic that the candidate mentioned, and he'll shoot out three or four bullets. You know, the person said they did this, this, and this at this company. Copy and paste that, send that back to the hiring manager, and like, yeah, let me talk to him. So, I mean, AI is a big part of my day-to-day workflow right now. And it came on the scene like just as I went out on my own. I was like, that's how perfect timing that was. Because honestly, I don't know. I mean, I would have figured it out, but it's been so much easier. Like even, I mean, creating job descriptions, creating
Yeah.
email templates, creating interview kits. Um, like I said, the code outreach sequences, responding to emails, um, laying out information as it retains to excuse me, pertains to like compensation and benefits. I mean, like you're just able to put so much information together so quickly and kind of be able to communicate um, um, I mean, in real time, but there was a time where an ask from a hiring manager would like take you kind of like all day to get this stuff together because you got to go pull information from here and go look at this and go pull compensation data from, you know, what does a software engineer with 5 years of experience in Atlanta make, you know, I mean, like you have to go kind of research all this stuff to put it together. And now you can literally sort of type in a prompt and it'll generate all this information and give you you know, reason as to, you know, where they got it from and why it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, we have the power of Fortune 500 companies right at our disposal now. So it's
It's it's
yeah,
crazy. And
yeah, yeah.
even I get mad at myself sometimes. I have so much especially like posts on Instagram. Like I'm addicted to just saving Instagram posts of like different prompts and platforms and stuff like that. I'm trying to get myself to a point to where I have like a time to kind of take a step back from my business and really, you know, review all that information and start to look at, okay, like where and how can I apply this stuff? Because I'll see it, kind of know where I can use it, but
Hmm.
also I think you learn, and we all learn over time that as as easy or as simple as some of these things are now, like you still have to have like some time to focus in order to
Right.
really implement it and optimize it. Like it's not going to do it on its own in a sense. I mean I mean just like how we just said, like there you literally can build a whole business using AI, but you got to know how to talk to it. Like, like you got to know how to implement it, how to build it. Like, there's still effort on our part, and I think that's why so many individuals um, still just kind of haven't, you know, kind of grasped or caught on to. If you really sit down with this, like it can change your life. Like if you figure this out, and now
Yeah.
people are literally building businesses about like how to use AI to help other small businesses. Like that in and of itself is a business because so many people either don't know how to utilize it, you know, don't really know much about it or don't have the time. And so if I
Hmm.
can sell you on like, hey, pay me $5,000 and I can automate that whole front end of your process and this will save you this amount of time and this amount of money. They'll throw you that $5,000 so fast, like because they can see the return on it. Like
Yeah. 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 That's it's funny you said it. It's amazing. I mean, it's how I worked on my like startup, but I did a little side project of like just building out like an AI agent credit repair company, and it's like I've already like got like two clients just from that, and I built it like last week. So
that's dope.
it's yeah,
That's
it's
that's my goal. My goal is to create like almost an entire, you know, AI recruiting end-to-end process to where like you pay me as a startup, you pay me to come in and I tailor it for whatever your startup is, like your industry and like it is constantly working for you in terms of talent
hmm
to like create folders or categories or almost like proactive pipelines of talent that you know you're going to need at some point. So if I can come in, you let me know what your, you know, what the next 1 to 2 years of growth looks like. I can go ahead and start to build this out because a lot of the talent that startups are looking for aren't just hey, I just need a software engineer. I need the software engineer that's done these things specifically, that's worked in this industry, that's built this out, or either one that's just superb, right? And so if I can start to go ahead and build some of that proactive pipeline for them so that when the founder or whomever is ready, they can go into the system and the AI agent has already been recruiting for these roles they said they were going to need as it relates to like the phases of their growth. And they already have this list of people that they can reach out to and contact and possibly could already have been nurturing, right, in some sort of drip campaign or kind of just keeping them engaged. That's kind of what I'm trying to build out to where like I'm not necessarily reaching out to people personally, like even though I've reached out to them, in sort of a batch process today. At the end of the day, like it's still me one on one, like reaching out to individuals, trying to say, "How are you interested?" But like I said, if I can build a system that's constantly working behind the scenes, to find sort of some of this niche talent and add them to a system that the founder can go in and view at any point in time and be like, hey, this person looks real good. Like I want to talk to them today, and then like reach out to them. Like I think that's sort of like what the future of recruiting is going to look like.
All right. Hey man, that's this technology is crazy. This is my last question.
What's up?
I just kind of wanted to do your personal opinion, like on the insights of what's going on with like, Palantir and their recent 10-year up to 10 billion enterprise agreement with the US Army and how that impacts their positioning in the broader government space. Because there was a lot of talk about it, a lot of general public's worried about it. Well, I just kind of wanted to know your thoughts on that, or if you
I mean, when when you ask me that question, like my mind goes, so I'm real almost like an obsession into like the current state of the political landscape. And what we're going through right now is it's honestly it's scary for lack of a better term.
right,
I'm the one that is like Trump can announce one thing and people like, you know what, this actually is good. Like a lot of people can get rich off this. Granted, yes, probably, but that in comparison to like the 100 things that aren't good, like just isn't worth it. Like it's just sort of like everybody isn't going to be able to benefit from this one decision that he made about one thing. Most of these
right,
decisions are going to benefit the people who are already doing very well because they're already thinking like that, right? Like, okay, like I know how I can flip this or leverage that or invest in this. Like most people don't have money to invest
right.
or start to do all this kind of stuff. So it really don't impact people. Um, but I mean, to your point, like I think that's just another one of those steps that they're taking for, control. Like I mean, it's literally, I mean, with with the with the ICE budget in the US being increased to a point that's larger than a lot of countries' military budget, it's crazy. Like I mean, like I don't think people understand like why would they approve that much money if it wasn't going to be utilized in a way that is not for anybody's benefit? And it's not just about rounding up, undocumented immigrants. It's about having literally an army on our soil that is at the total control of the president of the United States. Like they're gonna, because he has the power to give them, federalized authority. You can go anywhere, you can do anything. You know, you can shoot on sight. You could do
Yeah.
like I mean, like he
Yeah.
can say that. Like he can I mean, and that's law now. Like there's nothing to to save you. And so when I think about just sort of the sheer force and cruelty of a military force like that being paired with the technology of like a Palantir and then the technology of drone companies and the technology of satellite companies, where are you going to go? Like it's going to be one of those things where yeah, like if I make a comment on Instagram calling Trump stupid, that automatically pings something is like, oh, Nate Wiley is right there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Like he's against the president. Next thing I know, ICE knocking on the door. Like that's that's how quick that can
Minority
happen.
Report.
Right. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like it's
Yeah.
really scary. Like it's scary that
Yeah.
in the same age that we are blessed to have all this technology and AI, we're also fearful of how the government is going to use it against us. Like it's just like, damn. Like I never would have thought that we'd be dealing with these two things at the same time. Like I thought we supposed to be, in flying cars in a utopia and singing Kumbaya at this point, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. But it's scary, man. Like the every news break I get coming across my phone is nothing good. I mean it's to a point now like we're like I said, he could say I don't know. Like he can get on there and be like, I'm gonna reduce taxes for this one thing, and everybody's like, "Yeah, you hear that? He's reducing taxes." I'm like, "Did you hear the last 50 things he said? Like, what are you like? What are you
Yeah.
celebrating? Like,
Selective hearing.
like, right? It's like, oh, he looking out for." I'm like, "Come on, y'all! Like, we gotta do better than this." I mean, I don't know, bro. To be real, like I wasn't expecting that last question, but yeah, like it's pretty scary. Like even when you know that I think one of the scariest parts is we know that he's not popular, but yet he still has all this power to do everything. Like that's the scariest part. Like I can see if everybody loved him for whatever reason, it'd be like, okay, like I'm not scared of this man because everybody loves him. But it's one of those things where like he's getting so much pushback and challenge from everybody to where like, yeah, like he might just wake up one day and like, you know what? Everybody thinks I'm such a terrible person. I'm gonna show them. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of and just
And
go right and just go off. He already off the edge, but things can always get worse, right? Like I mean, he can, with a stroke of a pen or whatever, like just start shutting down so many things that we just become accustomed to.
right.
And like I say, and for somebody like him, he wants the chaos. Like he wants the riot and the pushback because now he got this military he been waiting to use. Like, okay, like this is exactly what I've been waiting on. Like let's go. Let's get it. And so
Yeah.
I think I wake up every morning and check my phone like, man, I hope this dude ain't shot no rockets nowhere overnight. And
See, he's a Gemini, we're unpredictable and we thrive in chaos, man. So, yeah.
he loves it, man. He
Yeah.
it's wild. And like I say, just to see like the courts and Congress and just even like media companies and celebrities and stuff like that just kind of just just be like okay with everything, like just give them whatever you want. It's like I'm still baffled by that part. It's like what in you made you make you just want to like knowing this person isn't in the best interest of yourself nor anybody else, right? Like he's literally like bullying you into something, and you're saying like, okay, 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 I'll 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 give you $15 million just to leave me alone. It's just like, okay, now you're nothing but a piggy bank to him. It's like, okay, like now he gonna come back like, I can use another 15, you know,
Yep.
and you just gonna have to keep giving it to him because now once you kind of bend that, they call it bend the knee on the news and all, but like once you give into that, like you're basically saying like, all right, like I don't want no smoke with you.
Right.
And and he's saying, okay, yeah, I know you don't. Give me the $15 million. But he gets a high off that. So like anything else that gives you a high, like you got to keep upping the ante, right? So now he come at, you know what? I was actually looking into your taxes and I could shut y'all down for good. So I think to make that go away, I need $50 million. Like because he want to see like how far can I push these folks.
Yep.
And so it's wild, man. To have the most powerful government in the world sort of operating as a villain should scare the hell out of everybody. Like I mean, it's like we for the longest we've watched the news and have looked at other countries like, man, it looks terrible over there. Like they over there throwing rocks at tanks and stuff. We might be
Hmm.
throwing some rocks here soon. Like,
Yeah.
like so it's you gotta laugh to keep from crying, man. Like it's like y'all, And if you look at what all he's been able to accomplish in 6 months, I wouldn't have been able to believe it. I think in my mind, I expected a little bit more resistance from the people
Yeah.
who actually have some power, right? Like it's just like, wow, like y'all really just gonna let him do that? I mean, like literally everything he says he wants. Next thing you know, like, this got confirmed or this getting signed into law or this has been they're literally building concentration camps in the US. And
Yeah.
just like and in my mind, I'm like, who are the people like physically building the camps? Like I feel like if it was me, I'd be like, I'm not about to do this work. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no,
Yeah.
this like y'all are literally constructing camps and it's all about the money behind it and the greed and the capitalism. But I mean at some point it's just like how how you gonna square us 20 years from now when history is written? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just sort
Yeah.
of like I mean, and we're seeing it in real time, especially as you watch the news and hear people supporting this or trying to sort of like tamp it down. And you can tell the ones that know all this is wrong, but
Hmm.
they try to put a spin on it because they don't want to, they don't want to go against them.
And it's
And it's just
profitable
like,
too.
right, it's profitable, but it's just like, all right, so whenever whenever something happens on the other side of this, I don't know what it's going to be, but and all the stuff is documented. Like it's not like, those rare glimpses of uh, black people getting sprayed with hoses and dog, you know what I'm saying? Like that video cameras, now everybody has a video camera. Like we have YouTube, we have Google, so all the stuff is going to be easily, you know, able to be researched. And so now, when people change their tune in 15 years and try to say they ain't had nothing to do with it, it's like, nah, I just saw you on YouTube. You was all in. Like
Yeah.
so and
Yeah,
so
exactly.
yeah, so I just don't get how they're, able to rationalize in their mind behind some of the stuff when it's at this point it's not like a matter of policy. Like this is just clear good and evil type stuff. Like this is just I, okay, you don't like people being in the country illegally. You don't go kick in their door or bust out their window and drag them out of the car and put them on a plane to El Salvador. Like that's just like that's the government is human trafficking. Like I mean, it's like I don't know what else to call it. Like y'all snatching people off the street and sending them to a concentration camp. Like what for money? Because they're paying to put them. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't. That's wild to me. It's just wild to me that again, as many people we have in this country, and as rich as it is, as intelligent as it is, as advanced as we are, like we're just sitting here acting like like we're watching a TV show and this stuff isn't real. Like it's I don't know. It blows my
Yeah.
mind, man.
Yeah, and it's going on literally right around us. So,
Right.
yeah.
Just because, like I say, we're, most people that, we probably interact with in our circles and stuff, it hasn't impacted us yet. I mean, that's how things work. Like it's going to start at the bottom. Like they're snatching up the farm workers and the people at Home Depot and construction sites and stuff like that. Like they aren't kicking in the door of the middle class person yet in the nice suburban neighborhoods and stuff like that. But I mean, that's how these things escalate to a point to where if they want to, like your money ain't gonna save you, right? Like it's gonna be like
Yeah.
we don't care if you make 250K a year, you the wrong color. Like
Yeah.
it's get in the van. Like it's, so yeah, man. It's wow. Yeah, I wish I was somewhere else watching this right now because it's scary to be here and be like, y'all, this is crazy. Like this this is yeah, like we have a dictator in the office and nope. I don't gonna say nobody cares, but clearly nobody can do anything because he's still sitting there. Like I just thought it would be an easier process to get somebody out of office that is clearly doing illegal things. So yeah, like it's just kind of it's wild to me. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could literally talk for hours about this, man. Like I said, I consume way too much political podcasts, but. It's I don't know. We're gonna need NATO to come save us at some point.
Well,
Canada gonna have to come down and liberate us.
yeah. Well, I appreciate your time, Nate. Where can they find you at? Where can the people get in contact with you at?
Yeah, so I'm always on LinkedIn every day, man. So Nate Wiley on LinkedIn, WILIE, at Career Hacker Nate on Instagram. Uh, if you're so inclined to send me an email for whatever reason, it's Nate at infinitetalent.com.
Okay. All right. Well, appreciate your time, Nate. This was a great conversation. Let's definitely do it again at some point.
Yes,
And
sir.
everybody who's watching, y'all have a nice day.
Appreciate you.